your ears, boy.
It's what you harder the ice out the neck. It's what you harder the ice out the neck. When I'm in my zone, bitch, I get my respect. Call me Bumpy Johnson.
Hello, everybody. We are back with another edition of Texas Sports World. I'm Ethan. That is Mr. Guac is his name, I guess. And let me get the light back on because now it feels too dark. Anyways, we're gonna discuss the 2026 Texas football team. It's gonna be a little bit of a primer, things to look out for, kind of like our thoughts and opinions on, maybe how this season goes. I know it's been a minute since we've gotten on, but I feel like this was a good little way to kick it off, to just get a little show together. We can talk about how we think this team is going to look this year. So, how do you feel on July 27th before this season starts?
I am scared. I feel like we have so much that can go right, and the bar is set very high, and I'm terrified. I don't know what's going to happen this year. It's a pretty big rebuild, but I'm in that stage where it's like the circle we talked about in the past, where you start off in the beginning. Oh, this is our year. And I'm scared of that middle part where it's like, oh no, upset. And then
they got us again. Dang it.
Championship, or I can't stand it for 7 months. So
yeah. I mean, I was talking to Isaac the other day about he said he went and rewatched the Texas Washington game for some reason. I was like, why do you need to tell me about that? I don't need to. I hate. Why are you bringing this up again? I'm just now getting over this. I feel like so.
Yeah, we could have brought up you could have brought up the Alabama USF game. They ended up winning that, but what was that, like 10-3 or something by then?
Yeah. Well, the reason he brought it up was because we were talking about like just the ending of seasons and just I don't even know what we were talking about, but we were talking about that last drive. And I remember thinking, I was like, we're going to go down here and win it. We're going to go down here and win it. And I remember like getting like the emotional hopes of like, we're going to do it. Like this is the moment Quinn came here for. This is like, we got, Jordan Whittington's going to do it. We get 80 minutes. Like this is,
Mitchell had that sick catch at the end. That was awesome.
And so did Jordan Whittington. Had that one, like a right down the middle, and then they went to 80 on the side, and then they threw the fade ball. But anyway, so I'm just talking to him about this, and I told him, I was like, when that fade ball was in the air, I felt like I was one with the ball. I was in the air with it. I was flying, and then I just never came down. And then because the ball was overthrown, and I just remember the immediate, like he was like, "Did you fall to your knees?" I was like, 100%.
Yeah. Several times that game.
I was like 100%. I was in console. I had to take a lap around the block. It was like, so like, but to bring it back to the main point of like, you have this huge buildup, and all these expectations, and it can be over like that, so
for sure.
It's one of those things where, because now we're in, I keep seeing these numbers like, oh, we've won 20 or however, like, 23 games or something, or 23 games in 3 or something crazy. We're 20-1 at home, and we have 2 years in the semifinals, and then you miss it last year. So it's like us as fans, we're like, can we just break the wall down, please? Like, can we just get over the hump? Like, it's hard to get excited because it feels like you already know, like the story's already written, So like,
yeah,
it's worrisome because everything, we're going to get into it, everything is pointing towards, like, it feels like every year we do this, and like I really feel like this is one of those teams in one of these seasons where we could really do something special.
Yeah, I mean, this is a year. I mean, the past 2 years, our offensive line has been ranked 80th out of all offensive lines in the NCAA, which is just, I mean, 2 years ago we were hot with that bad of an offensive line, and last year it really took advantage of us and brought a lot of negative aspects. And I think this year could be a year where, we're top 40 offensive line with two great running backs coming in, which is going to take a lot of pressure off of Arch. And I think that's what he needs.
Yeah. I mean, we can just slide right into the offensive line, because this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. So you got Melvin Siani, you bring him in, Wake Forest. He can play. He's going to play right tackle opposite of Trevor Usby. Mm-hmm. That's, to me personally, I think I don't really know how to feel about that just yet, just because, You got to Wake Forest. I know he was probably going to be a second round draft pick. I think is what he was graded as. And he comes to Texas to play right tackle. But I mean, I watched some tape on him a little bit, and his main thing is he's a really good run blocker, which I think he's a mauler as a right tackle. He can get to the second level. He's really athletic. So he's really going to be good at doing those outside zone, long developing run plays, trying to get outside, trying to get the corner. He's going to be able to reach on a linebacker type stuff. So I think there's a lot of good qualities. And I think that's, something we
Yeah.
really lacked because everybody knew that Brandon Baker needed to was a guard. Like that's what he was going to play. That's the type of body type. He was playing out of position to begin with, so
Yeah.
you get a length, you get a bigger guy, a little longer arms, a little lankier, a little bit more athletic in the sense that he can run a little bit. Not that Brandon Baker couldn't run, but you get a guy that's his thing, so that's a good thing. And then you got Lawrence Seymour. We didn't know what was going to happen there. We bring him in from Wake Forest or Western Kentucky, All-American guard.
Pretty
Kentucky.
lucky that he got that extra year.
Yeah.
He's also the smallest guy on the offensive line at 6'2",
Yeah.
317. So that's pretty awesome to have that experience. I feel like last year we didn't have the experience there. We didn't have the depth on the offensive line, and now we have that. And I think we're going to be able to push through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, because that's not even. I mean, you bring in a couple reserve guys, and Paris Patterson. He has some experience coming from SMU. He's a third-year junior, or so. I think you get some experience. You're not going to be bringing in, somebody who doesn't have experience. He plays at SMU, and SMU has been pretty good. I don't think he was necessarily all that great, but nonetheless, you bring in a body with experience. And I've heard a lot of good things about Dylan Sikorsky too. I've heard he's been playing really good. So I think he came in a little bit smaller than he was listed last year. So I think he got a little bit more athletic, a little bit more athleticism to him there. And then Jonte Newman from A&M, another project, 2-year project that you're going to be able to, really work on, build up, and then you have a spot you don't have to worry about next year or 2 years from now. So you see kind of the vision that they have with the offensive line. You can kind of see what they're trying to do. Obviously, you don't really want to rely on the portal. I think Sark's kind of made that his, he doesn't want to rely on the portal. He doesn't want to major in it. It's kind of, I think, what he says.
Yeah, it's solid to bring in a couple of good guys, which is what he's done.
Right. Well, I think what happened was we had a really bad recruiting on the, like we had like after the first year where you had we had 4 or 5 5-star offense. Like we had a really good class coming in one year. He kind of just laid back, didn't really do a whole lot of recruiting on the offensive line, or at least not very well, outside of Trevor Gooseby, who, whatever. There's that. So you bring in these guys, but you bring in young guys. What gave me what they kind of showed me their cards in my the tea leaves is, all right, yeah, we effed up by not paying attention to the offensive line, but instead of going to just bring in because now you're not going to have to do it again next year because you're going to have a good crop coming in. Plus, you're going to have Ishmael Kamara. So you're going to have good recruits coming in. So I think they're really starting to rebuild the offensive line. So you're not going to need to bring in Melvin Siani or Lawrence Seymour. Hopefully, you can put that money elsewhere, and that allows you to really build out your team.
Definitely.
Let's see. Okay. You brought up the run game as well. I'll let you kind of lead off. Tell me how you kind of feeling about that.
I feel good. I feel good, for lack of a better term. Now, bringing in 2 crazy, awesome running backs, 2 high caliber running backs, plus a freshman, Derek Cooper, who might be under some people's radar. He might be RB3, but I think we're going to be able to put him in. He's going to make some crazy explosive plays. That dude is tall and large and fast. Played really good in high school. He can catch the ball a little bit as well. Probably not his strong suit, but he's going to be a strong runner. There's 2 starting running backs. They're not very big. This guy's pretty big. I think he's like 6'1", 215 or something like that. He's going to be a goal line guy.
Yeah. I mean, just the numbers alone, I think last year our running backs all combined forced missed tackles. Like I think it was or was it forced missed tackles, or I think it was that, like 26 times or something. It was like not a good number. And then Hollywood
But
Smothers and
is
Malik
that
Brown. Hold on. The point I'm making is Hollywood Smothers and Malik Brown, Malik Brown, between the two of them had 60. So like they give you another element in the run game that perhaps
absolutely?
you didn't have. You have the
Yeah,
speed, you have the one cut ability. You got Malik out the backfield. Hollywood Smothers is a good one cut back. He's good in between the tackles. Malik Brown is fast. So you get a really good collection, and then all of a sudden it's the third quarter, and you've had Malik Brown and Hollywood Smothers just going all over the field. You got Cam Coleman over the top. Then you got Ryan Wingo, and then we got now we got a 5-star running back, Derek Cooper. He's going to come in. He's going to also run up. So like you have a lot of. It's a whole different room now. It's almost
yeah,
it's. I would argue it's comparable to now. I'm not saying this. They are these players, but just like the ability of them and the way they can all mesh together and have a really good backfield, better than what we had last year, to say the least. You could have the Bijan, Roshan, Jaden Blue backfield where like
yeah.
not that they are comparable to those players, but they could have an impact like those players. You know,
I believe it.
it's the best
I
running
think
back
those
room we've
guys
had in
could.
years.
I think is one of the best running back rooms in the country. I mean, they all kind of specialize on their own things too. Smothers is more of a traditional running back, while Brown it can. I mean, he's kind of small. He's 5'9", so he's quick. He can hide,
Mm-hmm.
but he's really good at catching the ball as well. Come out from the backfield, run run something out there, get a lot of receiving yards for us, and then honestly, we don't really know what Derek Cooper's going to bring other than his size, and I'm pretty
Right.
excited for that. I feel like he's got a high ceiling. I'm pumped
Yeah.
for
What are
him
the
to.
yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Now I'm
Um,
pumped for him to be the wild card out there. It's gonna be sick.
yeah. One of the I just figured this. Another one of the reasons I think Malik Brown is going to be really important is because what do we know for sure that Sark loves and always goes to when in times of need? What do we know for sure that there's always going to be one crazy play based in this type of play in a game? What would you say?
A lot of motion, a lot of play action,
A lot of screen plays.
a lot of screenplays.
He's gonna do the Sark screen. There's always one
Yeah,
play a year where you're like, holy crap, where did he come up with that?
yeah,
So like, and I think those are gonna be the Malik Brown is gonna allow us to expand that even further.
yeah. I
So
believe
like
it.
so you could have Hollywood Smothers as like your, one at first down, second down. Maybe
Mhm.
obviously I think Malik Brown is gonna. I mean, yeah, Malik Brown's gonna have some other opportunities on first and second down too. But on a third down, when you want to call a screen, you can have Malik Brown back there, and he's that's what he does. That's what his specialty is in a lot of ways. So I'm excited to see kind of how Sark uses both of those guys and Derek Cooper too. But both of those guys, I'm excited to see kind of where he fits them.
Do you think we're gonna see any Niblet in the running back
Dude, I
area?
would not be surprised, honestly. I think you're gonna see I think there's gonna be like the pistol triangle where you're gonna have three guys in the backfield with Arch, and you could have Hollywood Smothers, Malik Brown, and you could interchange Niblet and Cooper. Probably you would want to do I would probably lean Niblet because all three of those guys on the
Maybe
field
even Bishop. Maybe even throw
oh
Bishop
yeah,
Jr.
but
in there too,
you
man.
can
That
throw Bishop.
guy's.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah,
I was
another
watching his highlights for like an hour today. That dude is fast. He is quick. He hits the hole fast.
yeah, I know. You just texted me randomly. You were like, he's so quick. I was like, who are you
Dude,
talking
he's so
about?
quick. He's so quick.
Dude, yeah, he's legit. He's legit. I mean, he's playing corner a little bit too. So like,
Yeah,
he's
I
an
read that they
athlete.
were putting him more on the defensive backside for the recent stuff, but the spring he was pretty much all offense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's and we could get into the receivers because I think the receivers are you could salivate all up and down the roster of guys who just could really break a game at any given moment. And I would
Mhm.
like to get into. We kind of started discussing the Parker Livingston situation, and I kind of want
We
to
did.
get into that a little bit because I have some pretty strong opinions about that. But
Yeah,
let's start.
it makes me sad for that guy, man. I don't know if you saw the recent thing that Sark said at the media day about how
I hope
he
we
had to
kick his
get rid of
ass.
him. Well,
Okay,
well,
hold
no,
on. Okay,
before that, he was like, we had to get rid of him to make cap space for these other big guys, and he called out Wisner in that too,
okay.
and
Well,
was like,
okay. I don't think that's what I don't think that's the second time he's been like. people have taken what he said and made it twisted it to be the worst possible version of what that could
Maybe.
mean. Because
Yeah.
the way I understood it is like here from Texas's perspective, from Sark's perspective, right? You have Parker Livingston, who's probably only going to be wide receiver 3 because you're going to have Wingo and Emmett Mosley ahead of him regardless. And then you're going to have Parker Livingston, or you because now we're having a conversation about is Bishop taking Livingston's spot. That would be the conversation we're having. But instead, we're having the conversation about who's going to get the ball between Cam Coleman, Ryan Wingo, and Emmett Mosley. Are you going to look me in the face and tell me because Parker Livingston wanted to be paid like wide receiver 1. He wasn't going to be wide receiver 1. He said, I want 500. They said, we'll give you 300. And then he bounced.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do in that situation? If Cam Coleman's like, I want to come play for you. What are you supposed to say? Nah, man, we're going to go with this. And then people would be like, oh, so he's Sark is admitting he can't develop his players. And he's going to go to the portal. That's the state of college football. Every team is doing that. Like, that's not specific to Sark or Texas. Every school has to reload their roster. These kids could have stayed if they took the money that they were given, but they didn't. So like, why are people attacking the coach for the kid deciding to leave?
Yeah, that's all true. It just makes me sad, man. I was just reminiscing and Colt McCoy, Jordan Shipley days, man. They were roommates. They did everything together. Shipley wasn't always the best receiver, but he was reliable and he had some very big plays for us down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The fairy tale would have been fantastic.
It would have been,
but ultimately,
I still think Livingston's a dog, man. I don't know how he's going to do it at OU, but I know he would have definitely caught several passes for us this year, and he would have made some big plays. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and like the Wisner situation, I mean, he wasn't that good. And maybe
I
didn't
think he played that well. He should have. I think he only got the starting job 2 years ago because of injuries, and we were just rolling, and he ended up doing really well back there, I guess. But I don't think it was solely based on him. I just think our offense was really solid, and it led a lot of open opportunities for him to run, and he did. He didn't get hurt, and I think him last year starting was probably not the best idea. I wasn't a super big fan of him going into last year. I thought he's a decent running back, but he wasn't a starting running back in my opinion. But you could bring up the case that he always did really well against A&M, and that's
he did. And you know what? And
maybe that's why we got him. That's why we got him.
He'll always have a little place in my heart for sure. Because like Parker, just real quick, you don't do it. You don't do that. You don't grow up in Texas, love Texas, want to come to Texas, support Texas, and then do that. Go anywhere. Literally go anywhere else. Anywhere else. But like
anywhere besides Oklahoma and A&M.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even be as upset if you went to A&M because at least it's a Texas school and like, but like Oklahoma, like the Oklahoma, really?
Yeah.
Like that's just, anyways. So like I'm gonna be like I want to see Trey Wisner succeed. I think he has talent. I think he's gonna play in the NFL. I don't think he's gonna be like, I think he might be an undrafted rookie or whatever, but I think he has a little career ahead of him. And then I'm drawing a blank on his name. He went to Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name too right now. I see he's gone and forgotten.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see my list. Oh, I think
he was a dog before he got hurt, and I really wanted him to succeed last year, and he just didn't. But I don't know if that's because the offensive line wasn't very good, because we couldn't get really anything going.
CJ Baxter. Duh.
CJ Baxter. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think if he didn't get hurt, he would have been a lot better. But I think
for sure. He had all the talent. He has all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I mean, I ask you, you can't really say, I mean, are you telling me you'd rather have CJ Baxter and Trey Wisner over Malik Brown and Hollywood Smothers? Okay.
No,
all right then.
Not even close.
Nobody would ever say yes to that. Like
no, not even close.
If you ask I would say you guys 95% of college football teams, would they rather their first two running backs or Hollywood Smothers or League Brown? They're taking Hollywood Smothers or League Brown every time. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I think that's a different conversation though. You have more receivers than you do running backs out there for sure, and
sure.
Livingstone can produce. He definitely wasn't going to be a 1 or a 2 for us, but he would have been another option.
Sure. Yeah. It's just, I just don't like the framing that the media wanted to spin it as like, and then all like the A&M pages jumping on it. Oh, Sark said he can't develop.
Hey
Bro, he
man,
sent like 5
that's the
receivers to the
flagship
NFL. He sent like,
University of Texas.
we've had three seasons back to back of 6+ draft picks. Like, we're all right over here. How about you mind your own coach said your trophy cabinet is empty. How about you mind your business? Okay. Like, okay, we're talking about two different things right now. We're talking about our team getting better, and y'all worried about the wrong thing. So it was just funny to me that people wanted to spin it as Sark can't develop. It's like, come on, guys. Come on, let's not play revisionist history here.
Yeah, I don't think that's true at all.
Okay, so let's get into, I feel like we've kind of covered the offensive situation. We've gone through running back, receiver, offensive line. I think we can kind of move on to the defensive side of things. So obviously we lose quite a bit. Jalen Gilbo, you lose Michael Taft, you lose Anthony Hill, Leona Lafau. So, you lose quite a bit of people. You lose quite a bit. Obviously, you still got Colin Simmons, so that's always a plus. But you bring in Rasheem Biles, number 1 linebacker in the portal, All-American.
A lot of people are high on that guy. A lot of people are high on him. He's in some big shoes.
I think that the Will Muschamp and the way that he's going to run this defense, I think Rasheem Biles is going to be a monster for Will Muschamp. Him and Rasheem Biles on one side. Rasheem Biles on one side and Colin Simmons on the other. Come on. Anthony Smith in the middle. And then you got Brad Spence coming off the edge too, or however you want to do it. Rasheem, so Ian Jafard in the middle.
Forget about my boy Lance Jackson down there. Dude, come on.
Number 4. Yeah, Lance Jackson. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You'll have Lance Jackson on one side, Rasheem Biles on top of him. You'll have Colin Simmons on one side, Brad Spence on top of him, Anthony Smith in the middle. I mean, that's a hell of a front seven.
Yeah. Don't forget Justice Terry. That dude's
Justice
big.
Terry. Justice Terry's another one. Ian Jafard, Zion Williamson. 2 big bodies that Will Muschamp's going to want to just say, hey, lock it down. Don't, because here's where my biggest kind of question mark for the defense is. Because I think the defense is obviously, in my opinion, maybe this is a hot take, is kind of the weakest side of the ball between offense and defense. I think the defense is a little bit on shakier ground than the offense is.
Yeah.
Definitely
my problem, unknown ground.
Yeah. My biggest issue is I'm worried about how we're going to stop the run game. And I know that's kind of crazy because you got 300, you probably between Ian Jafard and Zion Williams, you're probably going to have like 700 pounds, like a ton between the tackles. But still, I think, let's say these two get blocked up, you're going to have a 230 pound Rasheem, Anthony Smith, basically the same Rasheem Biles. I'm worried that we don't have a big body linebacker. Justin Cryer ain't that. Marcus Boswell ain't that. Darius Snow ain't that. We don't have a big body and neither is Tyler Atkinson. Neither is he. He's pretty much the same as Biles and Smith. So like I'm worried that they're going to be forced to play the run a lot, and that might be an issue because they're not the biggest bodies. Not that they can't tackle, not that they're not aggressive players, they're all that, but still, I mean, relatively having a smaller body there is going to cause an issue. It could potentially. Yeah. So like that, the how we stop the run is kind of where my biggest worry lies currently. How How do you, what would you say? What would you say your big like? What's your biggest question mark? Offense, defense, whatever you want. Special teams. What's your biggest question mark going into this season?
I kind of have two. I mean, we don't really have a proven star in the middle, a defensive tackle. We got some big guys, but not really a breakout player to really help. I mean, I wouldn't say not help, but one that really shows that they can compete at like a Colin Simmons type level. I think that's kind of something that we need. And then second, I just don't. I mean, our secondary is going to be good, but I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty there.
I mean, okay, so we have to if we're going to talk about so Hero Canoe and Alex January, those are going to be your two starters for the most part. But I mean, Ian
Yeah.
Jaffard's going to be in there too, but I feel like Hero Canoe, he is the defensive tackle. He's kind of the one that you're describing. This is that there's because he was a major retention. So
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like if he can stay because he had a pretty productive year last year as well. And he got a little slimmer this year, so I think he's going to be a little bit quicker off the ball. That's going to help him a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is depth. I would argue that
Yeah, no,
it's the biggest
I
question
think
mark, but it's also the deepest room.
it is deep. It is deep, which we can sub a lot of people out. I just hope there's a couple guys up there that really can step up and be like the leader down there. I
Yeah.
really hope
Yep.
Euro and Justice can both do it. I think they're probably the best. But yeah, we have a lot of depth there, which is awesome. It's going to help us out
Sure.
for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely. Just in this, the SEC moves to 9 games, so it's going to be a
Yeah.
grueling schedule. I mean,
I
the
told you to
schedule
start
Texas
off.
has,
I was scared. I told you I was
yeah.
scared. It's a scary year.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think for all SEC teams, and I asked you this question, sorry to branch off here, but I asked you this question
No, go
last
ahead.
year. Is a 9-3 team going to be able to make the playoff?
I think we saw last year. It can't. It's not possible.
I don't know. You think things are going to change? I mean, a lot of arguments were made of strength of schedule. A lot of big people were talking about who they would rather see in there
I think
besides James Madison. And I think that, I mean, shout out James Madison for making it like that, but they don't have a chance, dude. They don't have like,
what are we really talking about?
yeah, at some point we have to be realistic. Like we need teams in there that actually have a chance to win it all. Like I said, shout out James Madison. They won all the games they needed to make it. They made it by the rules, but I don't think they were the best team.
Them and Tulane, both
Yeah,
of them.
both of them.
I don't know. I mean, because here's the thing: what throws the wrench in everything is the Notre Dame of it all. That's what throws a wrench in
Ah,
everything.
yeah,
Because they have that memo from the CFP that if they're like between 9 and 12 or something, then they have to be in. So like that's one less spot automatically.
don't let them in. Make them
There's
join a conference. Put them in the ACC. I don't know. That's just what I say.
no, they should be in the ACC. They're literally. I'm pretty sure they're in the ACC in every other sport but football.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing?
What are we
Like,
doing?
what are we doing? So that's what kind of if oh, excuse me. If there wasn't a Notre Dame of it all, I think that a 9-3 team is more likely, but Notre Dame takes the 9-3 team spot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I guess it
So
is what it is, man. Old money.
yeah. Oh, well, we got to talk about John Meredith and how that kind of could shape up the DB room on the back end because I think that's a super I think that's huge, honestly.
Yeah.
Not only for his development, him being at Texas for a whole extra year under his belt, he's going to get all that stuff worked out and be able to really
Yeah,
grow as a player.
he's a pretty big guy already, isn't he? He's like 6'3". Is that how
Six,
tall he
yeah,
is?
I think he's like 6'2", 190, something
Yeah,
around
something
there.
like that. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's definitely gonna we'll see, man. I love it. I hope he competes. I hope he can get some time in there, man. He's good.
yeah, I
He's
mean,
really
because
good.
on one side you're gonna have, on one side you're gonna have, let's see, Grayson Littleton's gonna be your nickel or your star. Bo Masco seems to be making waves, so he has probably gonna have one side, and then you're gonna have Cade Phillips and Kobe Black kind of fighting for a spot there on the other side. So throw Meredith in that mix. Now you got 3 guys that all 5 stars, I'm pretty sure, 4 or 5 stars. Grayson Littleton wasn't, but he obviously we saw what he can do. He's really freaking good. Bo Masco, he was an all Big 12, all Big 10. He's really solid. So he locks down one spot. Cade Phillips, I think he had a really good end of the year. I think he's kind of got. I think he would be my betting favorite to be the starter opposite of Bo Masco. And I'm pretty sure Kobe Black actually getting some. I think he was getting some reps at safety too towards the end of the spring. So really, you're going to have Cade Phillips and the backup be Meredith. That's possibly, and I'm sure. I mean, you bring in. I'm sure there's. I mean, there's other guys on the roster there, but in terms of
Derek
pedigree,
Williams
I
Jr.,
think those 3 guys.
Jelani McDonald.
Yeah, yeah. Xavier feels same, but all those guys are safeties. So Kobe Black is not really competing with Jelani McDonald. Jelani McDonald is going to be your staple. He's going to be your starter at one of the safeties. And then you got Phil Same, or Phil Samey, however you want to say it, kind of vying for that other spot. We hope that it could be Jonah Williams, but he has that shoulder thing, so we'll have to see kind of how that goes. But you hope it's Jonah Williams, but we'll see how that works. Another key point on the defense, just while I'm talking about the defensive backs, some statistic I found. Our pass defense was worse in 2025. Opponents completed 62% for 235 yards a game, up from 60% for 174 yards in 2024. 3 starters from this last year's group are gone. So there's going to be an infusion of new talent, new blood. Also, they have this new scheme, a lot more man-to-man, a lot more exotic looks and stuff. So a lot more aggressive.
I think for that, we could make the argument that the offense wasn't there a lot of the games. Therefore, we just didn't have possession a lot. The other team had way more offensive possessions. I think if we looked at that, that'd be an accurate statement. But
no, I mean,
here.
I would agree, because one of the main reasons all of us were so baffled about the PK and him getting fired situation is everybody was kind of like, defense was never really, don't get me wrong, I haven't really loved the stylistically, but like relatively the defense has outperformed the offense the past 2 years, so it's definitely one of those situations where it's like, man, you kind of just don't want a man under the bus.
I think there were a few games last year where the defense was non-existent, but the offense turned on. Like against Mississippi State, that was a big one.
Sure. Which is complimentary.
Yeah, you make that argument with Kentucky as well, and there were a couple of games where it was a random punt return. Got us a dub. It was like, what are we doing here? But I'll take the wins. But yeah, I really think I think this year a big difference will be we will have more time on possession and a lot more offensive reps than we did last year, which will keep the defense off the field a little more. And I think that number will go down pretty dramatically.
I would agree. One of the caveats to that is Will Muschamp's is way more aggressive, and so I think that's gonna it could go be death. It could be good and bad in a lot of ways. I think we probably are going to see a lot more, not a lot more, but there's going to be big plays, quite a bit of them. I think just because of the aggressiveness, but you're also going to see a lot more positive, negative plays in the sense that, good for us, negative for the offense, you're going to see a lot more of those. So it's kind of going to balance out. I feel like, but I think that is one of the trends you're going to see is the defense is because of its aggression.
The good news is we have so much depth that hopefully our guys don't get as tired with all the aggression.
Yeah. It's
going to lead to a lot more blitzes and it's going to be sick. I think we turn around. You know who has a very aggressive defense?
Georgia.
It seems to work out pretty well for them. So
it does. I mean, and we might have the hardest schedule, but we also have 7 home games. So I think that also is going to play in our favor too. Are you counting to make sure I'm right?
Yep, we do. I couldn't remember because I was like, was Oklahoma? Yeah, no, you're right. Yep, 7 home games. It's big. Yeah, it's
4
really
natural,
cool.
4 actual road games. So I think that's another positive. So we're gonna be in our own.
Yep. 3. Yeah, I've been looking at the schedule. I think so most of our home games beginning of the year, we finished the season 3 of the last 4 games are away. But I think with all those games being at home, we're going to be able to, get that engine running. We're going to be
Mhm.
running smooth. We're going to have a lot of reps in by the time. I mean, I'm pretty scared of Missouri, honestly. I think that's a bit of a
You
trap
said
game
that.
for
That's
us.
so random.
It is random. I mean, they got a really good running back. We're gonna see. We're gonna see where we're at. I think that could be a trap game, though. I mean, if you look at it, we're coming off Mississippi State, and then we're going Missouri, but after that, we're going to LSU, and I think LSU is gonna be one of those teams that's pretty solid this year, and they're gonna be making a lot of noise. And I just hope we don't get caught up in that game before we go to Missouri. I hope we take it one game at a time. Is what I'm saying on that.
1-0,
But
baby. Just go 1-0.
yeah, call that a trap game. Or actually, LSU. It's at LSU. Sorry, I might have said LSU at home, but yeah, it's at LSU. Yeah, those
Let
last
me
those
see.
last 4 are a little bit daunting, but I think we're good. I think we got it.
I feel like we've covered. I mean, yeah, I feel like we've kind of covered a lot. I feel like I've kind of covered everything in my notes. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you had written down or thought about talking about?
Man, I could talk about Bishop Jr. all night, dude. That dude I'm so excited for that guy. I think he's like 6'1". I think I've seen a couple different reports on his weight. I think they might be kind of over top. He looked pretty thin, but I'm hoping he's able to bulk up a little bit more, put on some pounds this summer. Because I think
I think it was like
160 might have been
160.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that might have been a couple pounds added just for the stat sheet there. But dude, he played so good in high school. He has the all-time record for the Houston area of receiving yards, and that's for the division he's playing in. That's insane.
That is crazy. That is.
hmm
Yeah,
He's one
I
of those
mean,
everyone guys.
that's like the I think that he's gonna be like the oh shit, we forgot about that guy, you know?
I think he has the biggest chance of being our breakout player. What's his face for Miami? I can never remember his name. Tony Malachi Tony, is that it?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a freshman this last year, and he was like very under the radar. And they're like, "What if we just did a lot with this guy?"
Yeah,
And
what if
it
we just
worked,
gave him the ball like every play?
Yeah, anyway, let's just throw him in there. And he was a huge contributing factor for Miami the whole season. And I think we can play Bishop that way. He doesn't really have a select role. I think we just throw him everywhere, and I think we should. I'm really pumped. That dude's fast. That dude is very fast, dude. I'm super excited to watch him play. All right, what's our floor this year?
Ooh, floor,
Yeah,
baby.
it's scary.
Mm.
I think you can make an argument that besides the non-conference games, basically, okay, just the conference games, pretty much every team is taking a step up or, in position to take a step up. Tennessee, I'm going to try and go to that game. I think I'll be able to. It's going to be sick. I think Tennessee is going to have a solid team this year. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. It's my hot take. Same with Florida. I think Florida's putting together a solid squad. I think they had a solid squad last year as well. They just had a lot of injuries and some inconsistencies, and it
I
just
think
didn't pan out.
I think our floor is somewhere like I think 10-2. I think you I think you can
It's a high floor.
it is. 10-2 is the floor because I think you can drop the Ohio State game and then you can maybe drop like I don't know, Tennessee for whatever. Let's just call it Tennessee. And I think 10-2 with the schedule, you drop those 2 games. We're still a playoff team, and I think we're still in position to make a run at that point.
Yep.
I think that's the position. That is the floor. That is the position you want to be because obviously the ceiling is winning it all, right? That's the ceiling. So, I mean, ultimately, if your floor is making the playoffs and putting yourself in a position to make a run in the playoffs, 10-2 with two losses to Colorado, Ohio State, Tennessee is pretty much as low as you can go.
How do you feel about Ohio State? We got them at home.
Honestly, I think we're a better team this year. I think we are better at every position. And like you
We
said,
are.
we took a step up. I think we took a step up. And I think Arch found something towards the end. I think Arch at the end of last year, I think we beat Ohio State. Honestly, we might. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, we didn't. Hindsight's 2020. You can Monday morning quarterback it all day, but I think Arch at the end of the year plays way better against
He
Ohio
did.
State, and I think ultimately uh, that make the team around him plays better too. So, but honestly, this year I think we got him because I think defensively you're gonna be able to apply pressure. You're gonna be able to get guys coming from everywhere. I think we've kind of shown we know how to cover Jeremiah Smith. I don't understand it. We can't cover Dallas Wilson, but we can cover Jeremiah Smith. Make it make sense. Um, so if you just keep Jeremiah Smith locked down, don't let Bo Jackson run all over you. I think you have a very good. I think we have as good as chances as anybody. I think it's much closer than it was last year. Even though last year was also close, I think it's even closer, if not us
Yeah.
surpassed by a lot. You
I
know,
think it's gonna be quite the opposite. I think it's gonna be an offensive show, man. I think it's gonna be like 38-35 us.
I mean, no, I mean, but I think, but that plays in exact. That's kind of exactly what I was saying earlier. Is I think
Yeah.
because of the different. I think that because of the different type of team we have this year, I think you're going to have games like that. You're going to have shootouts every once in a while, and but we're going to get the last stop. It's kind of it's like the bend but don't break, but our offense is really good. Instead of bend but don't break and it's 14-7, it's bend but don't break and it's 38-35. You know,
Hopefully it's 28-0. I'd be super pumped about that. 24-0.
I'm, yeah, I don't care. Give me 7-0. Listen, I'll take a 2-0. I don't
Okay, that would
care.
I think a lot of people would be upset if I'd be like it'd be like bittersweet if we won
Yeah, you'd
7-0.
be like, I don't. You even want to win this? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of games on that. I think at LSU, like I was saying, Ole Miss at home is gonna be wild. I hope we get to go to that game together. I'll be in town. And then I don't know, dude, at A&M, I always get scared of that game. We beat them twice in a row, and this year it's at A&M at Kyle Field.
it almost feels like
Crazy.
we're playing with house money, and that makes it even more nerve wracking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could we win every game? I think so.
Forever and
Could
ever.
we? Yeah. What
Oh,
would be the point of watching if that happened, you know? Yeah,
what's
I don't
your
know. I think
floor?
our 8-4
Oh, shut your pretty face.
could be. We could
You
we
think
could
with
lose to
this
Ohio.
roster, you think with this roster that we lose 4 games?
Anything's possible. I mean, it's not that our roster isn't good, it's the competition we're going against is really good this year. Really good. I mean, Oklahoma's always tough. I mean, we could easily lose a close one to Ohio State, and we could lose the last second again to Oklahoma like we've done in the past. We got Ole Miss, which is I think that's going to be a 50-50 game. Ole Miss is really good this year. One of the best quarterbacks, one of the best running backs. That's going to be tough to stop. At LSU, dude, that's going to be like an offensive masterclass right there. That's going to be a
Yeah,
high scoring game. And then
55-62.
yeah, right. It's gonna be what is happening?
Is this
I don't know
basketball?
if we
Where are we
pissed off or yeah, pissed off or excited, maybe both. I don't know. And then A&M, man, like they're always good. Anyone can win that rivalry, just like the Oklahoma rivalry. Doesn't matter how good the other team is, anyone can win that. But yeah, that's my floor. I mean, I think my ceiling 11-1. I think there's one maybe drop somewhere. You never know. It could be the trap game in Missouri. I mean, I feel like if we're gonna lose any game, that'd be the one to do it. Flip the switch, get after LSU, and then hopefully it's a cupcake against Arkansas, and then we're ready for Texas A&M. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I'm pumped up. Honestly, dude, Texas State's quarterback is really good too. I think we smoked
Brad
Texas State,
Jackson.
but I think they give us a little bit of run for the money on the defense. I think we really kind of see what's going on there. Game
I
one,
could see
I
that.
think
I could see
I
that.
think we beat them. I think we score more than them easily, but I think they're gonna be able to put up some points against us.
I could see that game being like a 24-17 in the third or something like that, and then in the fourth we make it like,
Yeah, and like in the past,
38-17 or something.
like the past 2 or 3 years, Sark hasn't really. I don't think he's really beaten the spread much against these first couple games.
It's 'cause I think he's just he does this thing where he tries to like keep it. He tries to keep things close to vest for as long as possible, so that in the A&M game, in the OU game, in the Ohio State game, you know, he has this full spread and it's not all already seen. I think, or I don't know, because it is weird. It is strange.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember like a few years ago we beat Alabama at Alabama, and then like the next week we were losing to UTSA at home. I was like, "What?
Yeah, we're like,
What is
what
that?"
is
Or
going
like
on? Or it
Wyoming.
was, I think
Wyoming
it,
had like a
yeah,
10-minute
Wyoming.
drive, and it was like, "What, dude?"
Yeah, like what?
It's things like that, but yeah, and I think Texas State will actually be a little bit of a defensive test. I think it'll help prep them a lot for Ohio State. I'm pretty pumped about that. They should have some pretty good quarterback play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we're facing a lot of good quarterbacks this year, so I think ultimately we're we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. I think that's the most exciting part. Is like I just can't wait to just see it, because I just can't
Mhm.
wait to like I can't wait to see Cam Coleman, Arch Manning. Like, I can't wait to see Rasheem Biles come off the edge. I can't wait to see Colin Simmons in it. Like, it's just like all these moving parts of. I can't wait to see Malik Brown break out a run, or Hollywood Smothers break out a run. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Or like, I can't wait to just see one of those run plays, or maybe it's not a long, but where you just see the offensive line. You're like, God damn, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like maybe
I
it's an
think my
8-yard
favorite
gain.
I think my favorite defensive play last year was when Anthony Hill freaking punched the heck out of that dude. Didn't even tackle him, he just went, "Ugh," and just punched him down. I was like, "Oh my god." I think he punched
Are
him in
you
the head
angry,
too,
sir? Yeah,
going
are
for
you
the ball
angry?
and just hit him in the head. I was like, "Oh my god." It was awesome. Clean tackle
Yeah.
though. Clean tackle for sure.
Did you see that they changed the targeting rules?
I did not.
Yeah, so apparently you only miss this. You only so I think the first offense is you miss a half, like you miss or you miss the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah, I think I did, yeah.
And then the second offense you miss I think you miss
I thought it was
then
I
that's
thought it
when you get
was
the se
I thought it was just, if that happens to you, you don't like, you miss a full game starting at the point that it happened. So if you got out the first quarter, then you can come in the second quarter of the next game. I thought you only missed 4 quarters, including the one that you got taken out of. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that, but yeah, I remember that happened. That came out like a while ago, didn't it?
No, 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 no. They just did it at SEC Media Days. Hold
Oh,
on. Let me
okay.
look at
Oh, nice. Then yeah, must be
let
brand
me
new then.
see. I think they just changed it. Let's
I
see.
thought, yeah, I thought that was something they had start. Maybe they were just talking about implementing that because I thought felt like it was like right after the season ended, they started at least talking about it.
Where I don't care. This is so many words. Can I just get like a is there an images? Oh, let me look at the images because I saw a picture of it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Um, can I just make this bigger? I just want to make this bigger. Okay, I'll just read it. So the first offense, disqualification for the remainder of the game. Um, no carryover disqualification, regardless of when the targeting occurred. So you just miss. So like if you get a targeting in the third quarter, you just miss the rest of the game. You come back next game. At any point in the game. Second offense, disqualification for the remainder of the game, disqualification for the first half of the next game.
Okay.
And then third or more offense, disqualification for the remainder of the game, 1 game suspension for the next game.
Okay. I think that's more fair. I think there are a
Yeah.
lot of
That
questionable calls that are just football moves and
yeah. And then you're
receiver
like, God,
goes
so now I'm
down
missing the
and
whole
it's
next game.
yeah, yeah. That's That's pretty crazy.
So I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. All right, buddy. Well, I guess is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up and get up at you?
Is Arch going #1 next year? Or is he staying for another year at Texas?
Wouldn't it be something if he stayed again? Wouldn't it be something? I think he goes. I think if he's undisputed, if we have the season, I think everybody's anticipating, he's going. He's going.
Who's the quarterback next year?
Diabell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love KJ. I think I think you can't really deny Diabell, honestly, because I mean, unless because he's having some injury issues right now, so unless he for whatever reason just can't come back the same or whatever, which I hope he does. But ultimately, I think obviously this year QB2 is KJ Lacey, but I don't know if you're going to be able to tell Diabell to sit for 2 seasons. I don't know. There's only one Arch. I don't know if there's another quarterback that'll do that. You know, maybe he does. Maybe he is. Maybe Sark has some sort of like Jedi mind trick that he's like, you'll stay for 2 years, you'll sit for 2, and then they just wake up and they're like, oh yeah, and oh shit,
I'm Jack now. What?
Yeah, whoa. So whatever, but we'll see. I think I would love for it to be KJ Lacey. I think he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of Bryce Young qualities. And I think we obviously know that kind of quarterback can work in a Sark offense. So that's a win. But I think it's just going to be tough to deny Diabell, and it's going to be tough to tell KJ Lacey no. So ultimately, we'll see how it shakes out.
All righty, that's all I got.
Yeah, you're good, man. All right,
I'm good if you are.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate y'all for sticking along for this long. If you have any, if we have any likes, comments, concerns, make sure to put it down below, like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.
With the beefing on the neck, tell me what's next. I can't listen to the hype when I know that you've been mixed with lies. Love you like your favorite cocktail.